Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making chocolate pie, and here I have 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to make my own pie crust today. So let's get this in the bowl and get it started. To that I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we're going to give it a mix and get the salt well distributed through the flour. Guys, I wanted to let y'all know too that you can use a ready-made pie crust or you can use a graham cracker crust. I wanted to use my own pie crust because the pie crust at the store is never big enough. So I'm going to go ahead and whip this up and lay it down into my pie plate and get it cooling in the refrigerator so we can put our pie filling in. Okay, now we're ready to grab our shortening. I have measured out 1/3 of a cup of Crisco vegetable shortening, and you can use butter if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and use shortening today. So we're going to go ahead and put this in with our flour and start mixing it up until it becomes pea size. You can use a pie cutter if you would like. I do have one sitting on my table, but I just found it easier to go ahead and break up the Crisco into the flour with my hands. Get all the clumps out, and as you're mixing it up, you will find that the flour will start to turn a yellowish color, and that's how you know everything is well distributed through the flour. If you're new here, I want to thank you for being here today. Please take out the time to subscribe to my channel, like, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop more up-to-date videos. Okay, now it looks like it's coming together quite nicely. I've got most of the big clumps out. Now we're going to start with our water. Now here is my water. I'm not using all this water. I'm just going to pour a little by little into the bowl as I'm trying to gather up the flour and make a dough ball. So with a fork, I'm going to go ahead and start stirring it with the fork first and make sure as I put the water in that the flour on the bottom doesn't stick to the bowl. So I want every last bit of the flour mixed in to make my dough ball. I'm only adding 1 tablespoon of water at a time, and as you see, it starts to come together. It starts to be clumpy, and that's what you want, but you don't want any dried flour. You want to make sure that everything is moist, not too wet, but not too dry. Okay, now I'm going to use my hands and I'm going to squeeze everything together and start to form my dough. And I'm just going to keep putting water in as I need to make sure I can fold in all of this dough with no problem and we have no dried spots. Okay guys, we are just about ready to roll out the dough. Everything seems to be coming together quite nicely. It's still a little bit sticky, but not too much. And we want to make sure we flour down the surface really good so we can roll out our dough and put it in our pie plate. Okay guys, here I have my floured workspace and I'm just going to put it right here down on the table and put some flour on the top and make sure it is ready to roll out. I'm going to roll this out until I have at least about 11 inches of dough. That way I know for a fact that I have enough dough to go in my pie plate. My pie plate is rather big, so I want to make sure that I have enough to play with as I'm laying down my dough. Okay guys, I'm just about done rolling out this dough. It looks like it's going to be big enough. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up here and roll the dough onto the rolling pin and lay it into my pie plate. Okay, here we are, and I have my dough on my rolling pin, and I'm going to gently put the dough onto the pie plate and start forming my pie crust. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and start pressing the dough into the pie plate, making sure all of the dough is pressed on the sides and the bottom. Okay, as you see, I've gone ahead and pinched the sides together, and I'm just putting in my last finishing touches before I go and preheat my oven. We're going to preheat the oven to 450 degrees and bake this for 12 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and preheat this to 450 degrees, and while it's heating up, we're going to go ahead and do some last minute touches to our pie crust and get it ready to bake. Okay guys, I'm going to make me an egg wash, and I'm going to go ahead and evenly distribute this egg wash on top of my pie crust. Next, we're going to take our fork and poke holes through the pie crust. And since I don't have a pie weight, I'm going to go ahead and make my own and put some beans on some parchment paper and let it bake just to make sure my pie crust holds its shape. Okay, we're ready to put this in the oven for 12 minutes or until it is golden brown. Okay guys, our pie is ready to come out of the oven, and as you can see, it has got to a golden brown and ready to go into the refrigerator to cool so we can make our pie filling and pour the pie filling into the pie crust. Okay, so for our pie filling we need 4 egg yolks. So let's go ahead and get these separated and put into a separate bowl. Okay, now that we got this last one in, we're going to go ahead and get our chocolate and chop our chocolate. Okay guys, the recipe is calling for 6.5 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. So here I have my chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and chop it up into small pieces and put it in a bowl. Okay guys, now that this is all done, it's time to start on our pie filling. Okay guys, we have our saucepan ready to go, and I have measured out 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, and it's going into the pot. Next going in is 1/4 of a cup of cornstarch. Next is 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Give this a quick mix. Now you're going to want to turn on your stove to a medium-high heat and pour in 3 cups of whole milk. Okay, what you want to do now is give it a mix as you're pouring in the milk, and then grab your 4 egg yolks and pour them in as well. If you have a whisk, go ahead and grab your whisk and whisk in the egg yolks into the mixture and get them well incorporated. Okay, at this stage you want to make sure you're stirring consistently until the mixture becomes a thick pudding. Okay, after the pie filling becomes a thick mixture, we're going to turn the heat off, and then we're going to add our vanilla and our chocolate mixture. Okay guys, it has reached pudding stage. It's nice and thick. So we're going to go ahead and turn our fire off, and we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Next is our 2 tablespoons of butter. Give it a mix. Now is our 6.5 ounces of chocolate. Stir this mixture until it's well combined. After you have mixed it, it should look like this. Our pie crust should be cool by now, so we're going to go grab it out of the refrigerator and pour in our pie filling. Okay guys, here is our pie crust. It's all nice and chilled. Now we're going to pour in our pie filling mixture and make sure it's evenly distributed through the pie shell. And we're going to store this in the refrigerator for 4 hours just to make sure that the pie filling becomes firm and it sets up real nicely. So let's pour the rest of this in and get it into the refrigerator for 4 hours, and then once it's set, I will be putting the Cool Whip topping on top. Okay, while we wait for our pie mixture to cool, we're going to go ahead and whip up this heavy whipping cream for our whip topping. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to pour 1/4 cup of sugar into the bowl, pour the entire contents of the whipping cream into the bowl with it, and whip this on high until we have stiff peaks. You also have the option of getting Cool Whip from the store that has been frozen, but make for sure if you do use the Cool Whip from the store that your pie filling is completely cool. That way the whipping cream will not be melted when you put it on top of the pie. Okay, we're going to turn this on high and get it whipped up. After a few minutes of whipping on high, it should look something like this. Okay guys, this has reached stiff peak, so we're going to go ahead and turn this off and get ready to top our pie. Okay guys, our pie has been in the refrigerator for 4 hours, and there she is, and she has set up really nicely. She's nice and thick, so we're going to go ahead and start spooning out our whipped cream and get it evenly distributed through our pie. Okay guys, there she is, all nice and pretty and finished, our chocolate pie. So let's go ahead and cut us a piece and I'll show you what it looks like inside. Okay guys, I am so very excited to try this piece of pie. I've been waiting all day to get a piece of this pie. This chocolate pie is very famous in my family. We make it every holiday, and my mother used to make chocolate pie all the time when we were kids, and it has been ages since I've had chocolate pie. So I'm going to spoon this piece of chocolate pie out, and I cannot wait to show you what it looks like. I hope you guys get to enjoy a piece of this chocolate pie on your Thanksgiving holiday, and look how pretty it is. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Like, subscribe, and share me out, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. I love you, and God bless you all.